The craziest thing happened to me today while I was watching the TV show Stranger Things. I felt empathy for, I think, either the first time or the first time that I can remember. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking right now, that's messed up. Doesn't everyone feel empathy? You would be incorrect. I'm not the type of person who is able to connect with other people in that way. And I'm not the type of person to go to for comfort because I'm not going to be able to give that emotional support because I'm just not that person. Is it bad? I don't know. And I would honestly argue that it can be a good thing for certain situations. It's not that I don't have feelings. I just can't feel things when I see other people going through something. So empathy, you know what I'm saying. It's what empathy is. I can't do that. But it turns out I kind of can, which honestly shocked me. In a good way. This is all a good thing. So the reason I think that it can be a superpower, honestly, is if two people come to me, maybe they're having some sort of back and forth argument that's full of emotion, and they can't think straight, and all the stuff that goes along with that, I would be able to give just kind of a logical answer to the situation, because I wouldn't be able to relate to either of them. And it wouldn't sway my thinking either direction. And I think that can be a good thing. Not all the time, but in this situation, or situations like this, where emotion can cloud judgment, having that lack of empathy, in my opinion, makes you think more clearly, more logically. Logically? Is that even a word? Yes. So in situations like that, I think it's good to be able to look at it from a non-emotional perspective. But I do understand how that can be a bad thing, because sometimes making decisions based on emotions is good. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So it's kind of one of those things that, there's pros and cons to both. And this isn't something like I'm choosing to do. I've just never really had the ability to have empathy. I don't even know if that's something you can work on. I don't know. I don't even think I'd want to, honestly, because to me that just feels really heavy, going through life and getting weighed down by other people's... Boy, that sounds selfish. Just taking on the weight of what they're feeling when you have no reason to feel it. To me, I just think would be kind of a not fun way to live. But I can also see how you would think that's psychotic thinking, or really selfish. I don't know if psychotic was the word I wanted, but you get the idea. Now, I'm not saying that I don't understand what they're going through, or that I don't care what other people are going through. I won't feel it emotionally, but I'll understand that, yeah, they're in a bad situation, and I would help them in any way I could. Not emotionally, probably. Unless, like I said, they needed advice on something where their emotions are clouding their judgment. Then I think I could give pretty solid advice, depending on the topic. I wouldn't say the advice would be right, but I would try at least. Man, this video is going to make me sound like a crazy person. With that said, the character in A Stranger... That sounds horrible. The character in Stranger Things was going through something that I will never go through in my own life. Not the monsters. Hopefully that doesn't happen in real life. But an internal struggle they were going through. Something that a lot of people go through in real life, but not me. It's not something I would go through. As I was watching the scene, my first instinct or thought was, when they said the thing that they were going through, I just kind of rolled my eyes and was like, nobody cares. Like, I don't care what you're going through in this moment, because to me, it's not a big deal. And then for some strange reason, something just clicked in my head, and I could feel it, the emotion. I all of a sudden could put myself in their shoes, and it changed my perspective. I went from not caring about what they were going through, because to me it didn't matter and it wasn't even a big deal, like, why are they even upset about it, to, for them it is a big deal. For them it's life-changing. And for some reason in that moment, I just saw everything differently, in a good way, because I was able to put myself in their position, which normally, like I said, is not something I can do, even if I wanted to. And I guess that's kind of the whole point I'm trying to make in this video is I just kind of realized, even though I knew it, that sometimes we need to put ourselves in other people's shoes. I know it's kind of a cliche. Is that the word? My vocabulary sucks, all right? Even if you don't agree with them, even if it's something that you'll never experience, or you don't understand why they're going through it because you think they just need to get over it. I know that's harsh, but in the moment, that's what I felt watching this show, and that was wrong. And I think a lot of people go through life feeling the way that I did initially, was seeing what other people are going through and just brushing it off like, oh, that doesn't matter, you're being dramatic, nobody cares, get over it. But to them, it's everything. And to understand that, I think, is just really important. And it's something that people should try to do more. Me included. I'll be the first to admit that I see other people going through things and I can't relate. And most of the time, I don't even try. And that's something I think that I should work on. And that's kind of why I'm making this video, because I think a lot of other people can relate to me as well. Maybe we don't try hard enough to understand the perspectives of other people. And the thing that really amplifies that whole situation is the internet. You get into your bubbles of people who you agree with, and that can just kind of keep you there and hold you inside of it, where you see other people in their bubbles floating by, and you see them doing things you don't agree with or you don't understand. But instead of breaking out of your own and going into theirs, you just stay in this little bubble of yours and never try to understand the world around you and the people around you and why people do the things they do or believe the things they believe. And that's really what it comes down to. Making an effort to understand what others are going through or why certain things mean so much to them, even if it's something you don't agree with or something you'll never understand. And this is why I like movies and TV shows and video games, storytelling. Because of this, I was watching a fictional TV show with monsters in it, and it changed my whole perspective on life, basically. I know that sounds dramatic, but it did, honestly. It made me feel something I don't think I've ever felt before, or that I've forgotten a long time ago. And it just helped me realize how I was living my life, going through it, being selfish, and not even trying to understand the broader world around me. And that one moment in this show changed all that. It opened my eyes to what I was doing. And that's crazy to me. A TV show did that. You would think a real life scenario would have done that earlier, but now I'm here and I can work on being better and paying attention more. Not being so judgmental or stuck in my own bubble full of people who feel the same way that I do. I mean, honestly, I just think that's the downfall of humans. We get so stuck in our ways and surrounded by people who think the same way that we never try to understand each other. All we do is try to fight each other and prove that we're right. Prove our way of thinking is correct. Even though, most likely, neither of ours are. So I think that covers everything I'm trying to say. Hopefully it made sense. I might sound like a crazy person to you. Or maybe not. Either way, it's fine. It's just my experience in life. And I'm just sharing it to, I guess, hopefully try to connect with others. Maybe somebody else is experiencing the same thing. Or maybe my experience can be what they need to change their own perspective. Or your own perspective. I just thought it was mind-blowing that one scene in the TV show just opened my whole world up in a way that nothing really has, maybe ever. Kind of sad to say, honestly, but here I am. So if you're still here, I urge you to just try to understand others before judging them or dismissing them. Try to see the world from their perspective, even if you don't agree with it. I know we're all so quick to hate each other and judge each other and criticize each other, and I'm guilty of it too. That's the whole point of this channel, is to try to become better. That's my goal, at least. And it's supposed to be a messy, confusing journey that doesn't make sense. And I just kind of want to talk about it on this channel. It's my way of trying to make sense of the world and myself. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again.